Welcome back to the SOS Wellness Show, my friends. I am your host, Tess, and let me tell you something. Mm-mm-mm. I just have to make sure I start this episode off by saying thank you. Thank you to everybody who's been watching my episodes. I may not see you, I may not know your name, but I appreciate you. And I'm so thankful for people like you in the world who want to improve their mental wellness, who want to understand emotional intelligence in order to show up in the world a more full, a more vibrant version of yourself. So I just want to say thank you for doing the work as a human in this work to decrease the pollution of negativity within yourself in order to increase the positivity that you put into the world. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, like, and if you're watching this and these videos actually give you some insight and some clarity, I recommend that you share this with three people. Share this with three people who, if they feel disconnected, right? If they feel like they are not walking in their purpose, or if they feel like they don't have a purpose. That's why we have these wellness episodes to help us figure out what helps us make us well, what actually makes us well. Because what if I told you some of the things that you are doing are actually increasing the negative thoughts, negative vibrations? They're the situation that you may be in, may be decreasing your health. So I want to figure out what can we do where we are right now. I don't want to tell you got to do this, you got to pay all this money. I'm trying to meet you where you are right now. So therefore we can figure out what it is that you can do where you are to increase your wellness and decrease any negativity, decrease anything that's weighing you down, and decrease any stigma of making you feel like you cannot create your version of success. Because my friends, listen, I am literally a walking, talking testimony of creating my version of success. And that's what's so cool. I want to do this episode today about living in 3D instead of 2D. See, I'll be honest, my friends, the last few weeks of my life, I think I've been living in 2D early in October, maybe end of September. I just feel like I was defining myself based off my situation. So when I say 2D, I mean in this two-dimensional world where we see ourselves where we are and we define ourselves based off our conditions. That's what 2D means to me. And more recently, most recently, I literally just had this epiphany of I'm going to start living in my 3D. I need to start living in 3D. Life is much cooler when you live in 3D. Even when you go to the movies and they say 2D or 3D, you see the people with the glasses next to you, like, oh, let me get the 3D. And then you walk into the movie and it just has this a different texture, a different experience. So what if I told you that if you decided to live your life in 3D, how things can change? And when I say 3D in this situation, I'm literally talking about understanding where you are, acknowledging who you are right now, acknowledging your conditions, but then also acknowledging who you want to become and living in that dimension as well. Okay, my friends, because you got to walk and talk and be who you want to become before you become it. So it's so cool right now in my life, right? I'll give you an example this week. I literally just had the opportunity to speak to 1,100 students. 1,100 middle school students. And if you're watching my channel, I'm going to post a recap video of it. So stay tuned on my channel of me documenting how I spoke to 1,100 students. And here I am. I'm just like, wow, this is this is beautiful how I'm able to one speak in front of so many children about the importance of bullying prevention. Because many of you may not know, but when I was in school, bullying was huge. I used to get bullied for being too dark, having a big forehead. They used to call me five head, y'all. It's crazy. I can sit here and talk to you now. If you would have asked me what happened in school when I was 12, I would have came home nothing. But now, see, listen, I don't bullying all that stuff. It just sounds to me an insecure person because we only treat people how we feel in our heart. That's just how it is. So now that I have the understanding of mental wellness, I speak that to children and anybody who's watching this, like anybody who's, if you may be experiencing bullying in your household from your children or even at work, please understand it's important for us to have a wide view of, okay, if somebody is bullying me, it's what's going on in their heart. It's literally a projection. We only treat people how we feeling about ourselves in our heart. But at the same time, it's three people in a bullying situation. It's the bully, the victim, and the witness. So if you are a victim to bullying, I want us, because I was once a bully, a victim to bullying, and where I thought I was too dark, to where I didn't want to interact with people because I didn't want them to feel like my skin was not good enough, or I wasn't cool enough to sit with the people who had lighter skin or different kind of skin. See, that kind of stuff really defines you. But right now, I'm walking in my purpose and I'm prioritizing my mental health, my mental wellness, to where I can literally identify, hmm, yes, that's the truth of my skin being probably darker than other people. But guess what? The fact is, my skin is beautiful. Yes, it's the truth. My forehead may be a little bigger than other people, but the fact is, listen, this is model behavior right here, baby. This is prime time. You have to think about yourself. People are going to say some of the nastiest things to you. But I need you to have this sphere of greatness around you. I need you to have this sphere of self love, confidence, and humility within yourself to understand, listen, I am working, I am on a journey, I'm working to become better, but no, I am not somebody's doors. I am not somebody's doormat. I am not somebody who needs to, I am not the person who somebody must stand on. I'm not the person that somebody must spit on or somebody must talk down on in order for them to feel great. No. So if you are experiencing things from people who are telling you negative things, I need you to, one, make sure you live in that 3D and not 2D, where your current situation, your current condition is defining you. That's not what I'm telling you, all right? Because guess what? After you watch this episode, you're going to start living in your 3D. You're going to be able to, one, identify your goals, identify who you want to become. Two, you're going to also identify the mission. What is your life mission? Because guess what? You are here for a reason. I promise you, everybody who's watching this episode has a purpose. And if you don't know your purpose, guess what? It's around the corner. It's waiting for you to come around the corner, to keep exploring, to figure out why you were created. In that 3D, let's guess what, that third component, after you identify your goals, you live in your mission. Listen, the third dimension, the third part of it is to enjoy. My friends, it's time for you to enjoy life. It's time for you to wake up and embrace the essence, which is you. Wake up and understand that because you woke up, there is purpose and there's a mission in your life. And you were not created to suffer. You were not created to feel less than. You were created to actually understand, embrace, and feel your importance every single day and make other people realize, and not just you, make other people realize that you were the solution. You were literally the solution that people have been looking for. You are not the problem. You are not the disease. You are literally the cure to something and somebody in the world. And one thing I realized as far as my journey, after I spoke to these kids, it's crazy. I was going on my Instagram, and just 2 years ago, I was just walking around my neighborhood, my friends, filming positivity, just sharing positive things that would just hit my heart naturally. Because what I would do, and that's what I want everybody to do as I share my journey with everybody, is what is something that you do without anybody pressuring you to do? What is that thing that you get up and you're doing it naturally on your own? And for me at the time, 2 years ago, it was walking. I love to walk. I love to just check out my neighborhood, see what's going on, wave at my neighbors, see about the new real estate that's in the neighborhood, because I have an entrepreneur spirit that always be in me, and I'm huge on wellness. So walking was my thing. And as I walked, I realized I would have these downloads telling me about these positivity, these nuggets that I want to share with the world. And so at the time, all I did was I recorded, I would share it out into the world. And that's how I started speaking professionally. And then after that, I started to invest into myself and joined a mentorship program to teach me how to really hone in on my skill. So that's what I want us to do, is understand, how do we take what's great? How do we take what we do naturally, and then how do we sharpen that skill? Is it a mentorship? Is it school? Is it a program that you can take to really hone in on the skill? Because we got to make sure whatever it is that's inside of you comes out into the world in a polished way, because we want people to receive you in the way that you transmit from your heart. So guess what? Now fast forward, just last week, I spoke to 1,100 kids, my friend. But guess what? At one point, if I only lived in 2D and just lived in, oh, I'm just walking and talking, it's nothing. I always felt like I was speaking in front of thousands of kids, hundreds of kids. I always felt that when I was walking in my neighborhood, looking at the real estate, sharing these positive downloads to social media. I need you right now to understand that you can live a more fulfilling life. What if I told you that you can live a better and a more fulfilling life if you understood how great and how amazing, how abundant you are right now? And what I mean by that is the fact that you woke up this morning, you're breathing on your own, your heart's beating in your chest, your mind is flowing. I learned the other day I was doing a training on mental health, and I didn't even know there was such thing as able body privilege. See, we're privileged, my friends. You have to realize you're privileged. I didn't realize that because I don't walk around with a physical disability. I'm able bodied. See, a lot of times I realized when I was living in my 2D mindset, I would just focus on all the things I did not have. I would focus on all the things that I lacked, all the things that other people had, all the moments that I was left out, all the moments where I felt like I was left behind. But see, when you start living in 3D, you start to pay attention to all the things that are going right in your life. You start to pay attention to all the times where things could have went left, but they went right. You start to pay attention to the times where you, even when you didn't love yourself, but life, the universe, whatever you believe in, the creator saw fit for you to still be here today. And that's why I think it's so important when you start to enjoy life, you start to realize that self love is literally the reflection of never abandoning yourself. You don't ever want to abandon yourself, my friends. Sometimes when we live in a 2D mindset, we abandon the love that we have for ourselves. When we start living with identifying ourselves based off our condition, we may not love ourselves. See, when I was 19 years old, I remember I was literally out here, college student, broke, nothing. But see, at the time, if I would have let my condition define me, then I would have been broke. I wouldn't have loved myself. I didn't have much. A lot of times, I didn't know where my dinner was coming from. But see, the thing about self love and the thing about instead of living in 2D, living in 3D, you start to realize that, listen, no matter what my condition is, I am excellent. No matter what my conclusion is right now in this moment, I am great. And listen, there is no conclusion because guess what? You are on a journey. It's not over until you know what you can fill that in. My friends, I'm telling you, one thing that I realized in this lifetime, as far as how I got to this 3D mindset, was for so long I let my relationships define who I was. For so long, I didn't feel worthy unless I was dating somebody else and she thought I was amazing or I had somebody on my arm. But see, that's when I started to realize that your external situations can change immensely, drastically, quick with the quickness. But does that mean that you change your identity? And for me, it did. See, when my relationship status changed, I realized I didn't look in the mirror the same. I wasn't so happy to be in the mirror anymore because I started to let my external situations define who I was inside. But see, there is depth within you. There is purpose within you. And instead of letting our external situations define us, I want us to reverse that and let our internal compass define who we are. And that's that self-love. That's that self-acknowledgement. That self, that your self-worth is going to help you gain more clarity and navigate through any uncertain situations. Because for me, I didn't realize that my relationships I use relationships to fill the void in my life. To be honest, I was looking at other people to fill a void that only I could fill. That's honest. So are some of you allowing other people to fill a void that only you can fill? Some people, and even I, only got into relationships so other people can love me the way that only I could love myself. But what if I told you that you are worth loving? You are worth being heard. You are worth being seen. You are worth being listened to. You are worth being trusted. But you can only understand that if you give yourself that time of day. You can only understand that if you love yourself, you listen to yourself, you appreciate yourself, and you have patience with yourself first. See, if you're struggling with getting patience, gaining patience with your children, or gaining patience with the other people, I want you to review the patience that you have with yourself, the journey that you have with understanding who you are. And not even who you are, who were you created to be before the world told you who you should be? See, a lot of times we let our external situations define who we are. But what if I told you that internal compass, that internal love, that internal compassion for yourself is going to allow you to create the version of success that you deserve? It's going to allow you to evolve into a better version of yourself. It's going to allow you to actually stand tall and not let your fears define you, but allow your fears to motivate you and build momentum for you to keep going. Listen, my friends, it is not going to be easy out here living in 3D. It is hard because a lot of people are living in 2D. And a lot of people may look at you like, why you walking around so confident? You ain't got the cars, you ain't got the house. Listen, baby, listen, it's within you, because it's not about the cars, it's not about the houses. Remember, that's the external situation around you. I want you to start feeling I want the love for yourself to make you feel like a new pair of shoes. I want the love, I want the understanding of yourself to make you feel like you're driving in the Maybach. Listen, these external situations, yes, they say, I'm telling you, I ain't gonna lie, I literally just bought some shoes today. And that's really cool. I love that. I love the fact that I can do that. I can buy these material things. So I'm not telling you material things are not gonna make you happy, but I want you to be happy in the material things. Like I don't want the material things to fill a void within you. I want you to love that emptiness within you. I don't want you to look on the external, any of the external situations to define that for you. I want you to love you, because you were created for a reason. You were created on purpose for a purpose. And you must not lose that spark. You mustn't lose your magic. You have it for a reason. There are going to be so many reasons to convince you to be bitter and not better. There are going to be so many people that are going to try to pull you away from your purpose. But I need you to understand, you must not lose what makes you special. You must not lose what makes you different. Don't allow don't allow the world to define you. Allow you to define yourself and let the world catch up to you, because the world hasn't seen you yet. So therefore, it's not always going to know how to properly handle you. So that means you have to understand how to handle yourself with care, handle yourself with love, patience, and compassion, because you are worthy. And that's that 3D life right there, my friends. When you understand your goals and where you want to be, you have a mission, right? You understand life is bigger than you. And then you actually enjoy life. When you wake up, you're smiling when you're walking, just enjoying your own company. Like I mentioned, for me, when I was living in 2D, I would only enjoy my company if I had a girl next to me, if I had somebody next to me. But I'm learning now, my friends, this is that 3D. When you enjoy who you are, yes, it's amazing to be around other people, but guess what? You can only enjoy being around other people fully if you enjoy being around yourself, if you enjoy who you are when nobody else is around. Listen, there's a quote that says, you become what you behold. So what are you beholding? Are you beholding any hate in your heart? Are you beholding that feeling of lack? Are you beholding jealousy? We become what we behold. So how about we start to behold enjoying our life? How about we start to behold understanding who we are, so therefore we can embrace what makes us different? How about we start beholding us actually listening to ourselves without judgment? My friends, listen, I want you to live that 3D life. That life that make you got to put on you shining so bright. You got to put on your glasses. You shine. People, you walking through the mall, you walking through the park. People look at you like you the sun. I want you to enjoy this life that you're living. I don't want you to walk around miserable. I don't want you to walk around feeling like a mistake. I want you to walk around knowing that you are the answer to somebody's problem. I need you to walk around knowing that we need what makes you different. I want you to walk around knowing that you were created to succeed over the suicide of your mental health goals in life. I want you to have that emotional resilience where no matter what happens on the outside, no matter how many times life has tried to, it felt like life was breaking you down and tearing you down. I want you to have that resilience to know that you are going through a season of getting stronger and not weaker. You were getting better and not bitter. Instead of seeing things very foggy, you're starting to see things with more clarity. Sometimes it takes a storm to clear out all of the mess, all of the baggage, all of the clutter. Allow any transition that's happening in your life. It's not going to feel good, but allow it to sharpen you, allow it to shape you to become the best version of yourself, to become the version of yourself you were created to be, and to allow yourself to live in that 3D mindset world, my friends. Listen, I enjoy being on here. I have a lot more coming up. Travels is coming up. I'm actually taking myself out of country. Mm-mm-mm. I'm taking myself out of country very soon, my friends. It's going to be a ball. I cannot wait to actually share that journey with you. I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling coming up soon. And it's going to be a lot of introspection, a lot of time where I'm looking to see who I am, what is this world, and actually enjoying life. So for me, I'm actually learning how to get out of my, once again, I'm getting out of my 2D world, just seeing where I am and seeing who I am and where I am, right? That's 2D. But now I'm putting myself in a different situation. I'm putting myself in a different environment. See, some of us need to just like literally need to put ourselves in different situations, be around different people. Because guess what? If you are in a situation you don't appreciate right now, that's not warranting positivity, that's not giving you love, that's not giving you the warmth that you need, check the people that's around you. Literally, your life can change based off the people that are in your life. So guess what? I want to go and explore. I want to go see new things, meet new people, to see how far my life can go. Listen, we're only here once, my friends, and I don't want you to just survive. I want you to thrive. And guess what? I'm doing so by redefining success for my life. And I'm just sitting back and watching my life transform. Y'all see the butterfly. Y'all see the SOS drip. Watching my life transform because I'm redefining success for myself. And one way that I'm redefining success is literally traveling. For so long, I thought success was just, oh, where I am. No, 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 traveling. Traveling is going to help me be successful, seeing different things. So, what's one way you can redefine something right now in your life? What's one way you can put yourself outside of your comfort zone so therefore you can see who you are? Because sometimes, maybe, what if I told you you haven't even met the best version of yourself yet? What if I told you there is more for you? And that can only happen the more that you put yourself in these new situations. You put yourself in situations that are deemed uncomfortable just so you can gain more. You can gain more understanding who you are. And you can gain to see how strong you are because you don't know how strong you are until you put yourself to the test. See, a lot of times we only put ourselves to the test when life is happening. But what if I told you it's important to put yourself under, like, stress test yourself? Not like, oh, put yourself in scary situations, not like necessarily that, but putting yourself in situations to see who you are before life is forcing you to be something that you're not ready to be. So for me, that's what mental fitness is for me. When I'm doing any type of when I'm doing any physical exercise, I'm seeing my mental fortitude. I'm able to see my negative self-talk, that voice that's telling me I'm not good enough, that voice that's telling me that I'm not going to make it or that I'm not going to figure out. I'm able to identify, oh, so guess what? When life does happen, I hear that same voice. I'm able to look at that voice like, no, I rebuke thee. I am not defined by my limitations. I am not defined by negativity. I am not defined by my condition. This is why it's important to live in 3D, for you to identify what defines you. And you can create your own 3D. all three things that make you who you are. So whether that's enjoying life, that's understanding your mission, and it's identifying your goals, whatever that is for you. I want you to define that for you, because guess what? I'm just sharing my story. So therefore you can look at this and be like, okay, how can I do this for myself? My friends, I've been amazing having this episode. Listen, y'all be having me going just But I just need you to understand that you were created for a reason, not just a season. And it's important that you evolve in every season to be what's in your heart, to be why you were created, and to be the solution that somebody else needs. My friends, thank you for listening. I truly wish you so much love, so much clarity, and so much peace your way. Till next time.